to my channel today. We're going to be talking about books, but not the ones we're writing. We're going to be talking about the ones we like to read. Because, I mean, come on, if we're writers, that means we like stories, and we like reading the stories that other people create. So I have been watching a lot of like book reading lists and kind of booktube videos lately too. And I really want to incorporate some of that in my channel too, simply because although I love the writing process and I love the writing journey, there are other things in my life that I enjoy, like meditation and reading, and well, I don't really like cooking because I'm not good at it, so I might not show a lot of that, but you get the idea. There are other things about me in my life that I want to share, and I also want to break up the content a little bit because it can get a little bit redundant and repetitive, I feel like, if we just always talk about my writing process. Anyways, so what we're gonna do today is just go through the list of the things that I'm either currently reading or basically that I'm reading for February and March. I know it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, which means it's like the halfway point throughout the month. So I'm gonna go through what I'm like reading right now, what I'm gonna try to accomplish by the end of the month, and what we're gonna read in the month of March. So let's get into it. So we'll start with obviously what I'm currently reading, Keeper by Kim Chance. Love this book. If you have not read it, it is very good. It's actually taken me way too long to read it because I'm not really like I don't have anything to keep me accountable for sitting down and actually reading as much as I'd like. I mean, I used to read a book a week, but granted, that was a time when I had a job that I literally sat around all day long waiting for customers, so it was easier back then than it is now. But I may not be able to read that often, but I do feel like I can get more reading done. So this book is really, really good. Now, science fiction, fantasy, those kinds of books are not usually what I typically reach for. I really only grabbed this book because I like watching Kim's videos and I wanted to read her book. But I really like it. I mean, I'm not opposed to fantasy. It's just not what I usually reach for. But this one is really good. So if you like books about like witchcraft or, you know, magic, fantasy, those kinds of things, then this is one I would definitely recommend picking up. It is an easy read, so it's taken me a long time, not because there's anything wrong with the book, but just because I don't sit down and read enough. I am pretty much done. I think I just hit like the 300 page mark, so if I don't finish this one today, I will definitely finish it probably tomorrow. But yeah, and then I can move on to the next book. Now, the next thing that I'm going to read, I actually don't have a physical copy to show you, so I'll just take a screenshot of like the cover and pop it in here. This book it's actually called Chance Encounter by an author that I found on Instagram. Her name's Christy Woodson. It's actually an ARC copy, so you can't buy it yet or anything like that, but it's a romance. I honestly don't even know anything about it, but I do like a good romance. So yeah, so that's the second book that I'm going to read. I'm expecting that because I should be almost done with Keeper, and this one doesn't look like a big read, I should be able to start on the third book that I want to start during the month of February. I don't know if I'm going to get it finished or not, because again, there are only 2 weeks. So I'll have to finish Keeper. I have a second book, and then I'm going to start Harry Potter, which I have been hesitant to say anything on my channel because I feel like anytime in life, and probably here on like author/booktube or whatever, if you say that you have never read Harry Potter, you're gonna be like burned at the stake and lose all your subscribers. And people in real life give you this crazy look like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yes, I've never read Harry Potter. Again, I was never into like fantasy when I was younger. I mean, the books came out when I was young too, at 97, so I think it was like 12, 13, somewhere in there when the books came out. But this just wasn't my thing. And so, I mean, that was the same age that I read Jane Eyre for the first time. So I, at that age, usually was reading more classic literature because that's just the nerd that I am. And so that's the kind of books that I liked, and I like historical romances, and you know, I would just always typically reach for a different type of book. So the idea of reading Harry Potter never really occurred to me. But I have so many people really in my life that enjoy it, and there's just references everywhere you go, not just here on YouTube, but like in life. A girl I work with, she like knits these beautiful things, and she has this really pretty scarf, and I asked her about it, and apparently it was a Harry Potter scarf. Like, there's just all these things and all these references all over the place, and I don't know what they mean. So I figure I should get in there, I should read the books. I have a feeling I'm gonna like it. I just read like a couple pages when I found it on Kindle, and yeah, it was really good. So I don't have a physical copy of that one either because it's on like my Kindle app, which apparently you get a bunch of free books if you have Prime. That's cool. So it's on there. I do have a physical copy at work because one of my coworkers, Danny, when we were talking about it, she was like, oh, I have it right here. And so she handed it to me, but I don't know if you can see my books. I'm really rough with them. I need to be better about this. I know it's horrible. But I tend to toss them in my purse or flip through them. I bend the pages. I'm just a horrible person. So I'm really rough with books and I don't want to mess up somebody else's property. So I'm going to leave the physical copy at work to read when I can. And then when I'm at home, I'll just read the Kindle version. And then number 3, or I guess this would be, well, like number 3 for a new book. I'm obviously not going to get this one finished because this is a monster of a book. But I'm going to start reading Anna Karenina. See what I'm talking about? Like this. I mean, granted, I've had this book for years and it's gone through multiple moves and whatnot. But this, yeah, I shouldn't be showing this online. Anyways, Anna Karenina, I mean, this book is massive, and it's not just like 800 easy pages, it's freaking Tolstoy. So I've never actually finished Anna Karenina. I've gotten about 100 pages or so into it in the past, but I'm just starting over. It's a book I've always wanted to read and finish because I do love Tolstoy. He is a beautiful, beautiful writer. It is a hard book. It has one of, in my opinion, such a famous line, all happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. Like, that is a hook right there. This is just so amazing. And so I need to get through it. I mean, Anna Karenina is one of those stories that even if I never read it, I already know everything about it. And I haven't watched a movie. I haven't finished the books. It's just such a classic work of literature that I already know pretty much everything about it, but I've always wanted to finish it. And when I was going through, like, trying to figure out what I want to read, this one literally fell off the shelf. So I was like, all right, I guess we're reading Tolstoy today. Yeah, so this is one I'm going to start. It's probably, I mean, I'm not going to finish it until at least, oh, what's this? Hold on. Oh my God, that's so crazy. You know, when you're like going through things, oh my God, just flipping through the book. I have no idea what this is. It's a little napkin that I wrote at some point. Tell me if you guys know what this means, okay? Dragonfly, Amber, Diana, question mark, series of books. This was stuffed inside page 314 and 315 of my book. I don't know what this means. I don't know how old this is. If somebody knows what this means, please tell me and leave me a comment down below because I have no clue. Anyways, so that was interesting. So anyways, so yeah, so this just fell off the bookshelf, decided to start it. It's gonna take me a while to finish it because it's massive and I'm reading other things. So I'm not somebody that's ever been able to like read more than one book at a time, but I'm going to try it because I have so many other things that I want to read before I get to this, or while I'm getting to this. This is just going to take such a long time, and I think that Tolstoy, I think I can do Tolstoy while reading other books. Like, maybe make a plan that I'll read, I don't know, let's say 100 pages a week. That would take me 2 months to finish the book. Maybe that's a good goal. We'll kind of see how it goes. I may get so into it that I just want to read nothing but this. We'll see. But yeah, so that is it for fiction for February. It's kind of a lot. Of course, we've got Anna Karenina. I'm going to start Harry Potter, but I don't think I'm going to finish that one because I do have the romance. And for nonfiction, because I also like to get through a nonfiction book every single month, but those I do on Audible. So then I can do that while I'm cleaning or driving or at the grocery store or something like that. So right now I am listening to Mastering Your Mean Girl by Melissa Ambrosini. Hopefully that's right. I really like that. So for like Audible, like nonfiction books, I usually reach for things that are more like personal development, you know, kind of self-help type stuff. And I really like this because it's all about mastering your mean girl, taking that inner voice in your head that's mean to you and just telling her to shut the hell up and just being kinder to yourself and your body and your mind and your spirit and all that stuff. So it's really good. The problem I have with nonfiction or with like audiobooks though is I feel like when they're really long, I kind of lose interest. So I was super into this one, but once I hit like 3 hours, I was like, it's kind of long because it takes like 7 hours or, you know, 8 hours to go through it. So I need to get a little bit better about that. But so I'm at a little over the halfway mark with that. So I'm going to make myself finish Mastering Your Mean Girl by the end of this month. Okay, so now we can go ahead and get into March. And so in March, obviously, I'm going to be continuing to read Anna Karenina. And then I want to do, like, I'm probably going to start Harry Potter. See, this is how ignorant I am about Harry Potter. I just wrote down Harry Potter 2 because I don't know the name of the second book. So I'm assuming that I'm going to be so in love with the Harry Potter that I'm going to want to read the second one. I'm assuming. I could be wrong. I could hate it. I doubt it, but I could hate it and then never want to read the other ones again. So I don't have a physical copy because I haven't bought it yet. So I do want to read the second Harry Potter. And then another one, and this one is, I've read this one a million times. This is one of my favorite authors, Judith McNaught. I like romance novels. This is a historical romance, and this is my second favorite of her books. This is a pretty big one too. It's like 600 pages, but like 600 pages of this and 800 pages of this are two completely different types of huge books, right? Like, because these are easy reads because they're just the love and the romance and the kissing and all of that good jazz. And so that's another book I want to read. Again, I can read those ones really, really quick because I get really into the story. I've also read them so many times I know what's happening. And so I can get through that one really quick. So I do want to read that one. I might not because I do have another book I want to read. So depending on how fast I'm getting through some of these other books, I may not be able to get through 3 full books. So I should be able to read the second Harry Potter and then definitely probably get through that and then maybe start a third book that'll carry me into April because again I'm still trying to read it. And I don't know, maybe I'll only read 2 books, but if I get through those 2, I'm going to also, I want to get Girl on a Train. I don't have that one again because I had to buy the book. But I actually didn't even know about this. I haven't seen the movie either, but I kind of feel like Save the Cat ruined it, but also made me really want to read it because I kind of know the ending because Save the Cat does ruin the ending for you when you read the Save the Cat novel book, but it also makes me really want to read it, and it's been enough times since I've read Save the Cat that I feel like it's still going to be a little surprising if I can get through that one. So if I finish those 2, Girl on a Train is next, and then for my nonfiction, it's I Can't Make This Up, Life Lessons with Kevin from Kevin Hart, right? I really like this. I've actually, again, my nonfiction, when I hit a certain point, I get bored and I can't continue, especially when it's like 7 hours long. So this is one that I've already started, so I have to just kind of figure out where I was on my Audible, and I'm just going to finish that one. But there's probably at least 3 to 4 hours left on that book, so that's the one I want to do. I really like it. He's hilarious, but dude's gone through some shit. So he really kind of goes through and talks about how he's become the success that he is based on where he comes from, but the lessons that he's learned along the way. And he does it in his hilarious Kevin Hart way. And I like that a lot. So that is what I'm going to do for my nonfiction for March. So that is it. That's pretty aggressive reading goals on top of wanting to write and watch YouTube videos and spend time with my family and go to work. I may not hit all of these books, but these are the things that I want to read. So if I can't finish all of these books that I want in February and I read them in March and then push that through to April, so be it, because I don't have unlimited time for reading. But if I make reading a part of my everyday, then eventually we'll get there, right? Anyways, so that is it. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to come back on Sunday because I am doing like a writing and reading vlog. And yeah, so come back on Sunday. That one will be up on time, I promise. And I will see you guys then.